Okay, welcome to lesson 95, slope of a line. So now we're dealing with really analyzing linear functions. This will be technically the first of many analyzing linear functions. So let's get into it. Here's our objective, our vocabulary, using the slope formula. Okay, so let's talk about what slope looks like. Positive slope, a line increases from left to right, maybe not at that height, maybe it'll be lower, but that's positive. Negative slope decreases from left to right. Horizontal slope, that's when y equals 0. So the equation for this line would be y equals 0. And the vertical slope, this equation for this line will be x equals 0. It's undefined. So that's when you basically divide by 0. So find the slope of the line from the graph. So when you have a graph, you want to, where does the line cross the corner of a box? Okay, so draw your dotted lines. And slope is the change in y, that triangle means change, over the change in x. The change in y is 1, 2, 3, and it's dropping, so it's negative 3 over 1, 2 over 2. So your m is negative 3 over 2. Okay, so find the slope of the line. So what you want to do is make sure you keep your x's and y's together. And so let me say what the formula is. It's y2 minus y1. It does not matter which point you pick as your y2 or your y1. You have to make sure that you line up the points. So if you pick y2 as 2, you do 2 minus 1. And then what x coordinate goes with 2 was 5. So 5 must be under your 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 5 minus a negative 3 is 8. So your slope is 1/8. So let's do the points in reverse. So your m is 1 minus 2 over negative 3 minus 5. You get negative 1 over negative 8, which gives you 1/8. So it does not matter which point you pick as x1 and y1 or x2 and y2. The most important thing is that your point must line up vertically with the y divided by the x, just like in finding a ratio. So that's the most important thing. So those were our two examples for slope of a line. Try to practice problems, and I will see you at the end of the video for a review. Okay, so find the slope of the line from the graph. You must see where the line goes through the corner of a box. Through the corner of a box. And it's the change in y, so start with the change in y. And that's only one line over the change in x. And the change in x is 2. So the slope, indicated by the letter m, is 1/2. Okay, so let's find the slope of a line from the point 0, 0 and 74/16. Well, this point 0, 0 is at the origin, and we know that anything that you subtract, let's write the formula out. And what we have in essence here is just 16 divided by 74. So when you go through the point 0, 0, ignore the whole formula and just divide the y by the x to find the slope at that point. It's the same thing. So when you're dealing with slope, most of the times you're going to want to leave this in fractional form. So when we divide by 2, and we always simplify our fractions, this is fine. I would not change this into a decimal. I would leave it like this. And what you have to imagine when dealing with slope is think about a graph. So imagine each line is 8 and on x, and on y each line is 35. So this is 35, this is 8. So we're going down 8. So if this line went through 0, 0, we would go down 8 and over 37. So, if you were trying to put this on a graph that did 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, from 0, 0, you'd be way over here somewhere. So, I just want you to imagine what this slope looks like. It goes down from left to right. And you can always change the numbers on your x and y's, and they don't have to be the same. Okay. One measure of a road safety is the steepness of a grade. If a road has a steepness of 30% or more, it can be unsafe and needs to be regraded. Does a road crew? All right, so let's see what we got. So we're just going to take 72 and divide it by 300. Now, since we're dealing with a percentage, we actually have to find the decimal value. And so 72 divided by 300 is 0.24. So this road has a steepness grade of 24%, and technically it is safe. Technically. That's a little steep. Okay, here we go, same problem. So 66 over 200. Because we're dealing with this 0.00. So 66 divided by 200 gives us 0.33. And that tells us that this road is unsafe and needs some work. Just for practical purposes. So there you have slope, which is the first technical lesson dealing with analyzing linear functions. There will be many more to come. So please, if you like what you saw, subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.